How are you all? What a beautiful day it is. um, as promised, I do not have any makeup on. Because why am I putting makeup on when the next thing I'm going to do is go in the pool? We are in the middle of a heat wave and it has been so hot the last few days. And I also have to point out these butterfly clips that I have in my hair. Um, these were at the pharmacy, a box of like 10. There's 5 different colors. There's two of each. I only have 4 of the colors. They were on clearance and they are like the old school. Let me see if I can show you. I can show you. These are like the old school ones that we had growing up, the clips. And I was like, I am not walking away without taking those home. I thought Arabella would probably wear them more. I only just opened the package this morning, but I was like, do you know what? My hair, I didn't blow dry it last night. So it's all like kinky crazy from like air drying because it's not really sure what it wants to do. So I was like, let's put these butterfly clips in. So I'm wearing them and I feel very young and silly looking. But that's okay. Okay, so this week kicks off Ask B, which I am B, obviously. You can come in, you can come into the chat, you can ask me anything you want. I will give you any type of coaching for free. Anything that's going on in your business, in your life. You just want to tell me a story, you can go right ahead. I'd love to hear it. But since it's the first one, and I know it's really early, like if you were on the West Coast, it is 6 a.m. right now. So I bet you're not awake, and I don't freaking blame you. So I thought this week I will just chat until until people come on, and that's fine. So a couple of things that I wanted to talk about and share about this morning. And hopefully I can just like pour into whoever comes on and is listening or listens to it later. Um, I'm going out of order as to the way I wanted to do this, so that's fine. The first thing I want to talk about is that things right now are really hard and terrible for a lot of people. Things right now are even harder for me than I'm used to. I don't know one person who is not seeing a huge negative shift in their business right now. And I mean that quite literally. Like I'm not just talking about, 6-figure earners. I'm talking about 7-figure earners. I'm talking about 8-figure earners are also seeing a huge like negative. And it's so funny because like I wake up in the morning and one of the first things I do is I scroll through my memories and I delete stuff that's cringeworthy. I repurpose stuff that was really just so smart of me. And like I love to look at pictures of my kids, of course, when they were little. One of my memories this morning was my daughter as a baby. And I was like, oh my goodness. She was not even 1. She was less than 1 years old. So I love going through my memories. And like I started my business in 2020. And consistently in my memories, the last 2 years, the content has been about how the industry is shifting and how things are getting a little bit harder and like the writing's on the wall and people are closing up shop and it's harder than it was. And every year, like 2 years ago, last year, and now, it's just progressively gotten fucking worse. Not for everybody. I know some people are like, oh no, I'm doing really well. I within the last 2.5 years, I've had a really great year and a really shitty year. And my shitty year was because we lost another baby. And my great year was just being normal. Having nothing overly catastrophic happening in my life that pulled me away from my business. But that being said, like it feels like outwardly everyone is pretending that business is as usual. And I'm saying that because of the conversations that I'm having behind the scenes, and then the outward conversations that I'm willing to have, where other people are like, I am having similar conversations behind the scenes, where people are outwardly showing up as if things were as good as they have been. So this isn't even for people that are brand new on the scene who are like, I don't fucking know. Like, we're talking about people who have been on the scene at least 3 years, more than 3 years, going, yeah, I was signing way more clients. I was making way more money. Things were a lot easier even a couple of years ago. And now I am like on the brink of quitting and going to get a day job because of a lot of reasons. First and foremost, it's really fucking hard out here. It's noisy as shit. You got a bunch of people bullshitting people left and right. You've got people buying into the bullshit left and right. And like people are just so disillusioned now on what is actually happening in the industry and what they actually have to do to get clients that, you know, everyone's a little bit hesitant to invest because we're just so jaded by the whole damn thing. And outside of being an entrepreneur, the economy's fucked. I went to the grocery store to get snacks for us to go to the pool 2 days ago. I got 2 packages of like hamburger buns. I got a normal size of Ruffles chips. So like not a family size or like a party size, just a normal size. Was 2 for $9. 2 for $9. Like I remember when it used to be like 2 for $5 and we'd be like, yeah, and like load up. And now it's like 2 for $9. Like the economy is crazy. So of course people are feeling like even if I do have the money, like we're a little bit more precious about it. We're a little bit more likely to maybe hold on to it instead of invest it because there's a lot of fear around about what the future holds. And that makes sense because for 2.5 years, we've said, okay, the shift is here. We can feel it. Everybody can feel it. When is the bubble going to burst? It has to burst at some point. And we're just like waiting to start, like, the pendulum has to get to the other side eventually, right? Like, when is this going to happen? And so, like I said, I'm seeing so many people talking to me in the DMs, in text, replying to my email, saying things like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. I got a message at 2 a.m. last night saying, I saw your post inviting people to like message you if they're having a hard time. I am literally on rock bottom and I don't know what to do. Like it is insane how crappy it's gotten for people. And so, you know, I'm telling you this. Morning, Tish. I'm telling you this because I want to remind you that social media is the highlight reel, right? Most people are not being honest, and that's okay. You know, nobody, I'm not here to judge people who are, you know, unwilling to share all of the dirty details of their lives. You don't have to do that. Nobody has to do that. But we have to like be aware of what we're allowing ourselves to consume. Morning, Teresa. Because some people are just kind of putting on a brave face, and that's okay, while secretly suffering behind the scenes. That's the part that's not okay. You don't have to suffer behind the scenes and like feel like you're all alone and feel like no one else is going through this and you're wondering, do I quit? Do I go get a day job? Do I go back to, my corporate life or whatever I used to do before this? That's where you don't have to, it doesn't have to be that way. I know there's a lot of like shame and guilt around. I mean, it's our generation, right? That was our parents' generation, and that really bled into us. So that's why so many of us really struggle with vulnerability and like real authenticity because we were putting on a show as children for our parents. I know that's what it was like for me growing up, like everyone needs to just think everything is okay. What goes on behind closed doors is nobody's business. Absolutely. All of those things are true and accurate and correct. However, if it is to your detriment, like find people that you can talk to and be honest with them. Find a coach, find a mentor that you can talk to, and you can have open, honest communication about what's going on with you. And instead of having someone that's just going to be like, yeah, everything does fucking suck. I hope the bubble does burst. I hope the pendulum does swing to the other side. Having a coach or a mentor that can say, okay, well, what are we going to do about it? Because yes, some things like the economy are totally out of our control, but signing clients, making money, showing up, marketing, sending emails, talking to people, that's all within your control. And a lot of people tend to forget that like yes, even Taylor Swift has been struggling. Her song I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. There she goes. Like getting clients is in your control. Your ability to sign a client today, tomorrow, yesterday, every day is in your control. It's not in anybody else's control. You're not at the whim of the universe. And just like maybe, hoping that, God or spirit or source or whatever you like to talk to, just like sends you a little wink today and all of a sudden you have a client because some outer power outside of you allowed it. That's not true. You are not a passenger on this bus ride of life. You are the driver. So I want to encourage you that, like, if you're not getting clients, there's a reason. And you can be very open and honest. Again, if you have someone, a coach or a mentor, to go, okay, this is what's going on. Like, we can problem solve for why we're not getting clients. And yes, it's easy to say the economy's bad and people aren't buying, la, 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 la. All of those things can be true, yet people are still signing clients every single day. I just brought on a new client last week, and I'm taking on new clients right now, private clients, which I'm very excited about. So if you want to talk about that, let's talk about that. Tish says, I'm getting clients for books helping others. I know I need to increase my prices. Okay. What stops you from increasing the prices, Tish? Remembering, as I was just saying, everything is in your control. If you're not getting clients, that is in your control. Right? We tend to problem solve for like emotional problems instead of like practical problems, which means when we're trying to problem solve for our emotional problems, we start applying our emotions and our thoughts, all of our feelings to external circumstances. And then we're able to like blame those external circumstances for our internal. So when I'm saying external and internal, I'm saying like big picture, small picture. So if we're going, okay, well, no one's buying, it's really hard to get clients because the economy is really bad and people are disillusioned, which is what I said at the beginning of this, which is all true. This is all outside, right? There are also, at the same time, also true that people do have money and people do still have problems. In fact, people's problems that you help them with are probably exacerbated right now because of the outside. I'm doing a lot of talking with my hands. Because of the outside external forces that are going, the economy's bad and groceries are more expensive and gas is more expensive and rent and mortgages and power, hydro, all of these things significantly more expensive, yet my husband didn't get a raise. I can tell you right now, John has not gotten a major raise that's going to help us pay for some of these things. My government in Canada just keeps going, oh, well, more and more people are poor. Let's just keep taxing the middle class instead of the upper class and then give it all to people that are in low income, which is pushing most of the people that are middle class into low income. But because they were middle class before the whole taxation situation happened, they now don't qualify for the support of low income, even though that now they are low income after all of the, it's fucked. I hate it here. Anyway, all of that to say, you are in control here. The way you show up online and in your marketing efforts, offline, everything that you are doing to nurture your audience and your community and make offers to them saying, hey, I have this challenge, I have this group, I have this class, I have this one-on-one for 6 months, pointing at myself, that we can do privately together to help you get from here to there. People are still buying. People are still looking for help. People still need help. Just because the economy is bad doesn't mean that people's problems disappeared. The problems still very much exist, if not more so. Like, my whole thing is marketing and sales. Most people are struggling the most with marketing and sales right now. But of course, because it used to work, they feel like something internal is wrong with them. Like, oh my goodness, I used to be able to get clients. People used to like me. It used to be easier. And we make it mean something about ourselves. People don't like me. Otherwise, they would hire me, right? We tend to do that to ourselves and say those really horrible, mean things to ourselves because brains are bitches. And instead of like investing in someone like myself to go, the market's different. We got to show up a little different. We got to say things a little different. They go, I'm just going to keep banging my face against this fucking wall and hope that when the bubble bursts, the flood of clients comes back. And that's just simply not the case. I'm not here to convince anybody that they need to hire me. Like, do you, boo? But most people are struggling with getting clients right now. And it's because of the marketing and the way that they're showing up. So there are lots of people out there who need to hire me. Same thing with every other niche in the world. We've got our big three: health, wealth, and relationships. I got wealth down. People in health, okay. Groceries are more expensive. I bought a bag of grapes, a small bag, one bunch of grapes the other day for my kids. Babes, $14.99 for one bunch of grapes. So, of course, people are going to go to not healthy options if it's that expensive. Of course, we're going to be buying tons of ramen noodles and things like that, trying to get by, and they're not eating healthy. So, if you are in health, how can you give your clients a solution that isn't going to break the bank for them, but they can still eat healthy because that's what they want? They still want to lose weight. They still want to feel confident. They still want to look good and feel good and look in the mirror and be like, hot damn, and like want to get naked with their husbands and things like that. Okay, they're still going to buy that stuff. Gym memberships still exist. People still go to the gym. People still hire personal trainers. There's no reason why people can't invest in what you do. And finally, relationships, exact same thing. What did I just say? The shitty economy and the way the world is right now, like, not even outside of how shitty the economy is, the world as a whole is a terrifying, horrible, just swamp. You can't go online without being traumatized. How's that impacting marriages, relationships? Hugely. How's that impacting the way we parent and the relationship we have with our children and our own parents, let alone our spouse? Massively. Everyone's problems right now are exacerbated because we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel anymore. As a whole, like all of humanity, it's just so much and so heavy that it's just like, what is happening in this world? And so if you can offer people solutions that make them feel good, have some happiness in their lives, solve some problems. I would say money will solve all of your problems. So, like, make them more money. The more money they have, the more problems they can solve, the more problems they can outsource, the more support they can hire and purchase and whatever. People still want and need that very much. Teresa says, I'm a makeup artist. I had a wedding this past Sunday. Awesome. But now I have nothing booked until 9/7. So I'm going to say September 7th. Is that right? Yes. Yes. I'm a little worried. I don't think you need to be worried, but let's continue. She says, my rates are higher than everyone, and I'm not lowering them. I offer a luxury service, but I'm worried. Okay. I would encourage you, Teresa, and if you want to do it right here, you can, but maybe you want to go and journal about it, and that's cool too. But I want you to, and I'm going to put air quotes around this because the word that I'm going to use is the best word for the place, but I'll explain more. I want you to justify to yourself why your higher rate is worth it. I don't need to see the answers. Like I said, you can put them in the comments. But when you say that I'm worried and that you're higher priced, based just on that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences that you sent me, I'm going to say that you are worried that people are unwilling to invest the higher price on their wedding day to have their makeup done by a luxury makeup artist who's been in the industry 10, 15 years and was a model. I know this about you. Was a model. They're going to go, no, do you know what? I'm going to go have my big fancy day, my dream wedding. But the thing I'm going to skimp on is my makeup. That's not happening. So I'm telling you to justify this to yourself. And it's not even justify it. I want you to remind yourself why you are worth it. So when you're making this list, quote unquote, justifying it, okay, hold on. My kids are busting in the door. Hello? You wanted to come show? No, I'm working. You can't come show me your gibbets right now. I'm in a call. Children. Do I have to give these to you? You do what you want. Okay, you can't give me one of your gibbets right now. Shoo, shoo, shoo. I have patio doors on the back of my office because we were like, in a half an hour. 30 minutes. Toodles. I want to be able to see my kids and I didn't want windows. And I thought, okay, like when we built this office, thinking about like if we ever decided to sell, like this room is huge. It's 12 by 12. It could be a bedroom. It could be a sitting room. It could stay an office. So I put a huge set of patio doors in it. The patio doors are most of the wall. They're over 8 feet. And my kids just like they bust the door open all the time when I'm working because they're running around outside. They're just like, Mom, and they have questions. We just got a huge shipment of gibbets for their Crocs. And they're like, let's look at gibbets with Mom right now, even though they know I'm working, because that's children. Okay. Again, I don't want you to justify it. I want you to remind yourself, like item by item, why it is so worth it for these brides to put in the investment to have like a luxury high-end service on their wedding day. So the first things that come to my mind are like the experience, number one. Like I want to know that when I'm sitting down in the chair to get my makeup on, it's going to be a lovely experience with a lovely person who knows what she's doing. The other thing is, when I look back at my photos, I want to look amazing. I want to look at my photos 20 years down the road, 50 years down the road. I want my great grandchildren to look at those pictures and be like, my grandma was so hot. I cannot believe how beautiful she was and how pretty she looked. Like, I don't want to be on camera and have, like, and you know this, when you have professional photography, your makeup needs to look different, right? So they probably invested in a professional photographer. Their makeup needs to look good on camera. And normal everyday makeup does not necessarily look good on camera. Sometimes it makes you look washed out. So you want to have that, like, the makeup that doesn't not look like you, but still looks great on camera. And these are things that people maybe don't even realize can happen to them on their wedding day. So we're not talking to, like, the Pinterest women who are DIYing most of their wedding. We are talking to the women who are still having their dream weddings. And many of them are doing this. So, like, I would never even mention your rate. Like, in your mind, this is a barrier to these brides. But if you're coming into it going, I'm a little bit more expensive, but here's why, like, don't do that. I had a client once, oh my goodness. She was like, I was so embarrassed. She's like, I, like, broke the cardinal rule on a call with a client. And I was like, what did you do? And she was like, it was a brand new client. And when we came to talk about my things, I said straight out, I was like, it's expensive to work with me, but it's worth it. And do you know what happened? She didn't sign that client because she told them it was expensive. Like, we have to remember to take our hands, especially now where the economy is so crazy. We have to remember to take our hands out of other people's pockets and not assume what they can and cannot afford and what they will and will not invest in. Because there are people out here who are buying cute outfits and taking cute pictures and making it seem like they are making millions of dollars, and they are not even close. And I can tell you that for a fact. And there are people who are just like, no makeup, hanging out, taking like a messy bun photo, like selfie with their kids, and they're like in pajamas. And you'd think, because human nature, we judge immediately, and that's why people only show the highlight reel and only tell certain stories. You'd think this person maybe doesn't do very well for herself. Meanwhile, she's got multiple commas hanging out in her bank account. She just stopped giving a fuck and, like, does her own thing. So it's really easy for us as humans to make, like, snap decisions about other people and make assumptions about other people, not even maliciously, especially when it comes to, like, I'm expensive, my prices are higher, la la la, I should lower my rates, I should increase my rates, I should do a sale. Like, all of these things, we're putting our hands in other people's pockets and going, okay, everyone around me right now is broke. Everyone around me right now can't afford X, Y, and Z. Everyone around me right now, and we just like bubble all of these people and all of these assumptions together when that's not true. Not true at all. People still happily pay me in full 5 figures to work with me privately. They're like, oh my gosh, it's only $12,000 to work with you for 6 months. PayPal, credit card, what would you like? Can I just transfer cash to you? Like, whatever you want, whatever's easiest for you. I don't care. If I'm sitting there going oh my God, $12,000 is so expensive. I've been charging $12,000 for the last 3 years. It's not expensive for what people get. But if I kept saying, it's really expensive to work with me, guys, it's $12,000 for 6 months. Oh my God, $2,000 a month is so expensive to work with me, you guys. Who am I talking to? I'm talking to the demographic of people that $2,000 and $12,000 is expensive to, because I keep saying it's expensive. The people that have $2,000 to spare, the people that are making 10K, 15K, 25K, 40K months that are hiring me, $2,000 is not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money at all. They're like, I make that in a day. I'm here to pay you. So, all of that to say, again, when you're reminding yourself what you do and reminding yourself that I am not in the same league as the people that are offering a lower price service, I offer luxury. They do not. Bugatti does not give a fuck how much a Honda costs. Lamborghini does not care how much Ford costs. They're like, this is what we do. We are luxury. We do not care what anybody else. This is what we do. We're not lowering our prices. It costs what it costs. Here are the hoops and the red tape to jump through. And you're getting a luxury, high-end, performance, fancy vehicle at the end of the day. If you want something to go get your groceries, you're probably going to go and buy a Corolla. You're not going to buy a Lamborghini. They're not talking to the same people. You're also not talking to the same people. You are talking to the woman who is like, I bend over backwards for nothing. I compromise on nothing for my wedding day. And these women are out here getting married every fucking day to the men of their dreams because that's what they deserve. Tish says, I'm just getting this started. It's a lot of work, but others are charging too much. 5K is too much. Price is arbitrary, my friends. Price is arbitrary. People will invest in the things that they see value in. People are not. Here's the difference. Before I continue with your comment, Tish. 2018, 19, 20, 21. A lot of money was circulating, and a lot of money still is circulating, but a lot of money was circulating in the mid and lower class, right? Since COVID, most people that were middle class are now lower class. And I'm talking socioeconomic. I'm not judging people and saying you're low class or anything. Like, you guys know me well enough. I don't have to fucking explain that. Low class people are now poverty, under the poverty line. We, in my province, so I'm in Canada, so we don't have states, we have provinces, have seen a massive uptick in food bank, particularly with our veterans. We have a base, one of the bigger bases in Canada for the military is like an hour and a half from my house. Something like over 50% of veterans that live around and on those bases or like active members are now going to food banks. What the fuck? It's like the money is still circulating, okay? The years that I just mentioned, people were more likely to buy things because they just wanted them, right? Like we all have the courses, the PDFs, the books, things that we've never opened, read, participated in. I had someone pay me $1,000 for a 3-month like copywriting like mini group program. She never came to any of the calls. That's not my business. I reached out. The timing wasn't good. She caught the replays, but she didn't get any coaching time with me. She didn't care. She still got what she wanted out of it, right? But we were more likely to just spend money on things that we wanted. And now people are more likely to spend money on things that they know they need versus want. So when we're positioning our offers like, oh, you definitely want this, it's fun. Okay, that's nice. I don't think I need that right now, so I'm gonna keep looking for the thing that I really need. When they find the thing they really need, they're going to invest the money for it. So if what others are charging and what you're charging It doesn't matter when we know the differences, right? Like, what makes working with you different than anybody else? Like, as a business coach, marketing consultant, content strategist, whatever label you want to give me today, there's a dozen of us at every street corner, right? So I have to really be like, oh, what's different about me? I have ADHD, I'm really open it. PTSD, really open about it. Grief, loss, raising 3 children. I was a stockbroker. None of these other people have ever run businesses before or know money the way I do. I was a stockbroker. I have tons of experience, tons of knowledge on how money works, how the economy works, how investing works, how marketing and sales works. I have way more experience than most other people out here who just happen to have a pretty face, take some pretty photos, say, hey, I made $50,000 this month. Do you want to learn how? And then miraculously then made $50,000. Let's not go down that road though. People will always find, because we're resourceful, will always find ways and resources to invest in the things and buy the things, okay, that we know we need to get us to that next step, right? You can go on YouTube, on Pinterest, wherever, Instagram, and learn marketing, learn content. I'm putting that in air quotes because cool, you're not fucking gonna. You can go on Pinterest and download or pin a million healthy recipes. You can buy a book about saving your marriage. You're not going to do any of that shit though, because we just don't do it for ourselves. Even though we know we need it, we're not going to do it for ourselves. So people come to us, same with Teresa. I can go on TikTok, I can go on YouTube, I can learn how to do my own makeup, but you know what? I'm not going to do any of that. Because we just cannot hold ourselves accountable to learn new skills that way. We need someone to guide us through the process or do it for us. So, Tish, I want you to charge, like, I would much rather be the person that says, charge less, but feel really fucking good about it, than say, charge more because that's what everyone else is doing. It's fine that you're completely out of alignment with it. I had a client once in my very first year. I was charging $5,000 for 6 months at the time. She was charging $5,000 for 6 months at the time. At the end of the year, I was fully booked. I had a wait list. I did 6 weeks of mindset work and decided I'm going to increase my rate to $10,000 or $2,000 a month. And now I just go $12,000 or $2,000. And so I raised my rate. My client saw that and she raised her rate. She did not do any of the mindset work. She did not talk to me about it at all. We had no coaching or consulting. What? Okay. On doubling her price. She snap decisioned it because I did it. But she didn't realize that I had spent weeks going over all of my past clients, looking at their tangible and intangible results, and asking myself for every single person, they paid me 5, if they paid me 10, would it still be worth it? And the answer being resoundingly, loudly yes, before I felt confident and secure in making that decision. Do you know what happened? She rolled off. She didn't want to. She was not able, did not want to, whatever, continue. And I raised my rate. She didn't sign a client for over a year because she kept it at 10,000. She was not in alignment to be at 10,000. She hadn't done any of the work mentally to get her body and brain prepared to charge that. And so she was so out of alignment from it and so out of whack, she couldn't sell it. So I would much rather tell you, charge what feels good in your heart, in your gut. Like, we have to listen to our bodies because our bodies really do talk to us. Like, do you feel like squirmy wormy in your gut? Sometimes we feel that way when we're excited. Sometimes we feel that way when we're terrified. Let's move up to the chest. Your heart's probably racing. That's okay. But do you feel like your chest is caving in and like squeezing your lungs? Or do you feel like kind of like an excitement, like lightness, like we're going contraction or like extraction? Anyway, like, do we feel like, oh my goodness, like, is this possible for me? And there's this like, ooh, like a lifting, like, okay, this could be really fun. Or is this like, oh my God, no one's going to buy this. This is going to be terrible. I'm going to really have to drag people through it. I don't know. I don't know. Like, that's when you have to go, oh, okay, like, let's start listening to like what's going on in our guts and in our chest. Like, where do we feel it? And what does it feel like? And then make those decisions. So, I want to encourage you to charge what you feel like charging. I remember in my second year, I was in like a low, because it's cycles, right? We're ebbing and flowing all the time. I was in an ebb, and I was charging 10K, and it had been a beat, and I was like, I could really use some clients. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I'm making offers. I'm getting a lot of no's right now. This feels kind of wonky. So mathematically, if I was doing 10K for 6 months, it would have been 5K for 3 months. I decided to offer 3 people $3,500 for 3 months. Who fucking cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it was less. They still get the same level of support as my 6-month private clients. I sold those in like 2 days, the 3 spots. And do you know what happened? It got me my confidence back. So it's okay if you want to lower your rates. It's okay if you want to increase your rates. It's okay if you change your pricing all the time to get your energy and your confidence back. Like that made me be like, oh, yes, yes, yes. I know how to freaking get clients. I remember now, because we easily forget who we are and what we're doing and how awesome we are. And it just gave me that boost to be like, yep, that's it. And it tied me over for a bit to then go back to selling 10K for 6 months. Nobody was mad at me. Like, remember, you're the CEO. You get to decide, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do this. This doesn't feel good. This does feel good. Like, you're the one that decides. Nobody else gets to decide. She says, I feel like I want to do 2 books a month at $1,200. I don't want to have no time for writing, but I need to bring in a minimum of 2K a month. Okay, perfect. You for sure, and I'm going to ask you, you for sure have people in your audience right now that want this. Do you believe that there are people in your audience right now that want that? Like $1,200 a month to get everything done for their book. For inspirational short reads, I would love to work on large fantasy books. Then it might be worth a larger price. Maybe, Tish, and I don't know anything about how you structure your offers and what your offers are, but maybe you have like a starting price of $1,200, like regardless of how long the book is or what's going on. It starts at $1,200, but maybe you have like consultation calls with people, and then you kind of like a la carte them. Because here's the thing, people have enough decision fatigue in their day-to-day lives. And I always encourage my clients, like, don't give someone 5 options on how to work with you. Give them 1. If you have other offers, cool. But if you're having a consultation with people, especially when we're getting into like 4+ figures on a monthly retainer or a monthly payment plan, people tend to want to talk to the person that they're hiring. If you're going to have a consultation with someone, I am going to go into that consultation from a client perspective going, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I need. I don't know exactly what this person can help me with. So I'm going to tell them all of my problems, and I'm hoping that they're going to tell me the one solution that's going to fix my problems or help me fix my problems, so that my decision making is not which one of these do I need to say yes to? This one, I don't know if that one feels good. That one, oh, do you know what? I don't know. Like, yes or no. I'd rather not have to go yes or no 4 or 5 different times. It's yes or no on one thing. And since they're already on the call, they're very likely to be a yes. Yeah, we get no's. Okay, we get no's. It's part of living. But if they're on the call, they have a need and a deep desire to fix their problem. It's not a want, it's a need, because no one goes into a consultation ready to waste their own time, right? They're there because they're serious. So I would say starts at 1200. Let's have a consultation and I'll let you know all of the things that are going to get your book from out of your computer to in the hands of people and in stores and whatever. You know, what all of the things that you do. I don't know what you do, Tish. I'm just kind of making assumptions here. And then you're going to tell them how much it costs. And they're going to, okay, if that's how much it costs, that's how much it costs. Thanks. Right? And either they want it or they don't. But then that gives you to be like, oh, your book is like 1,000 chapters because it's a fantasy book and it's probably going to be at least a trilogy. That's going to be way more than a pocket guide to healthy eating that's like 20 pages, right? Tish is recommending to Teresa to network with photographers. Yeah. A lot of photographers in my town that do weddings, they like pair up with makeup artists and hair. People that do hair, hairdressers do it too. I do know when they compare me with other makeup artists, I do know my prices are more. And your quality is better. Right? Sometimes it's one of those things where you get what you pay for. I say that about the Canadian healthcare system all the time because it's free. So you get what you pay for. And since we paid nothing, it's fucking terrible. So, okay, it's cool. It's cool if other people are charging less. I don't want you to charge less. They're getting a completely different experience and outcome when they hire you. Oh, hey friends. Yay. So who cares? As I said, like let's not put our hands in other people's pockets. Like, let's also not worry about what other people's searches are. Like, who cares if they're looking at other makeup artists? Everyone has a different style. Everyone has different experience. Everyone has different strengths. People are going to vibe with you and they're going to hire you, right? Like, no matter what. The thing is that we want to make sure that with respect to your marketing, like you said earlier, like, I'm worried, I'm scared. Let's get out there. Get in some like local, like Facebook groups, local bride groups, bridal and wedding groups. And like, as long as, you know, some of them are like, oh, you can't promote whatever. That's fine. If you can't promote, okay, that requires a little bit more effort. Like, go to these girls that are going, help, like, what kind of look do I want, or who do I hire, or where do I go? And you go right here. And if you can promote, being like, I have availability for the rest of July, for August, for September, for the rest of this year, I have availability for weddings. Otherwise, they don't know, right? They don't know what they don't know. And people are like goldfish. They don't remember. Like, I can talk about the same offer every single day for 6 months and people still have no idea what I'm talking about. Because I'm not the center of their world. I'm the center of my own world. So, of course, I feel like I'm talking a lot. Everyone else has their own lives going on. So, like, we really have to, like, kind of bang them over the head that I'm taking clients. I can take clients. Do you have a wedding? Do you have a bachelorette party? Do you have a wedding shower? Do you have a bridal shower that you want to have your makeup done for? Of course you do, because you deserve to be beautiful all the time, especially at major milestones in your life. Why not? Right? These are priorities to these people. Keep letting them know, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Everywhere. Tish says, do you know what? $1,500 is a good base price for a book. I love it. I feel good at that for a base price, depending on the word count and the amount of editing required. So then right there, just like we said, that's a great base price. Let's have a consultation and see what's going on. And then you can say, hey, it could be more. Or it is more. It's definitely more. Okay, $1,500 gives you this, but we're kind of customizing packages because no book fits into a one size fits all, right? We're not cookie cuttering books around here. Everyone's book is completely different. So to start is $1,500. Let's have a conversation and see where you land. And then I'm going to make my recommendations, and then they can decide to move forward or not. Danny lives in Newfoundland, and she says, I was just saying that the other day about the healthcare system. So Arabella was jumping on her trampoline 2 weeks ago, and she like rolled her ankle. And she's like, ow, my ankle, ow, my ankle. She comes to me. She kind of like whimpered. There was a couple of like big crocodile tears, but she wasn't like crying and sobbing. It wasn't like mangled or anything. She did kind of limp on it for a couple of days, but we were like, oh yeah, like you heard it. Like 5 days later, it starts to swell up. So I'm like, uh-oh. But she can like walk on it and like she can do this with it, but going this way with it was hurting her. It's still swollen. It's been like a week. And my mother-in-law was like, take her to the hospital. It could be broken. And I was like, she can put her full weight on it. I don't think it's broken. Also, I know for a fact I'm going to sit in the ER with her for at least 24 hours to get it looked at. And if they tell me that it's just a bad sprain and I need to go home, or if it's just like a hairline fracture and they're not going to cast it anyway, what the fuck was that? Because our healthcare system sucks. Tish, prom season, school... Teresa, let me tell you a story about grad photos, okay? I had a girlfriend. Her name was Sarah. She was very tan complected. Her parents were white as ghosts, so I don't know like where down her line she got these genes. Very much like traditional Greek features. So she was very olive toned. Her hair was black. Her eyes were dark. Her eyebrows were black. Stunning. She went to the mall, to Sears, to get her grad photo makeup done. This woman put black mascara in her eyebrows. Black mascara, brushed it into her eyebrows. You should have seen her. She looked crazy. She had to like, she maybe got them and then went and got them done a second time. She cried her eyes out, and no wonder. Like, it was like Bert and Ernie, like the Muppets eyebrows that this woman did to this poor girl. I also had a terrible makeup experience. I ended up having to wash my makeup off with a makeup wipe in the car on the way to my grad photos and do my makeup in the car with my like shitty makeup that I just had. Because the girl that did my makeup put orange shimmery eyeshadow on me, and she did like a peachy orange lip. Those colors don't look good on me. They made me look good on somebody else. They looked awful on me. And I was trying not to cry in the passenger seat of my mom's car as she's driving me to get my grad photos because I didn't want to look crazy, extra crazy. I had to wash it all off and do my own like shitty Wet and Wild black eyeliner that I only did on the bottom at the time. Listen, it was 2004, okay? I did my own makeup in the car. Like, people will pay to not have to do that. And like, those are funny stories. Feel free to share them. You can make like reels about, you can make TikToks about, like, they're just kind of like hilarious stories that you can tell and be like, don't let that happen to you. um, yeah, partner up with some like boutiques, like dress boutiques and stuff like that. Why not? Danny says, if you're talking about makeup artists, we are. Teresa Novicki is a makeup artist. I think it'd be so cool to see packages promoted for maybe a girls only night, turning 40, divorces final, etc. situations. That stuff sounds out to me. We did talk about this. Me and Teresa had a call, and I was like, do some classes for us, like girls that like survived. My eyebrows used to be so nice and thick. These are my natural eyebrows, unplucked. They're fine. They used to be almost invisible because I plucked them so bad. Like, talk to us girls who overplucked our eyebrows and now we're basically bald on the top. Just says people doing branding photos and headshots. I always see, there you go. When I go and do my, pardon me. Yes.
I got all of my giblets on. Can I have the extra one? Because if I lose one of my giblets, I have spares.
Yes, of course, they're yours.
But when you're done, me and Noah want to show you.
Okay, I can't wait to see. I'm almost done. Big shipment of gibbets came today. They weren't supposed to come until Friday, so the kids are really hyper. Every time I go for branding photos, which I haven't in a couple of years, but when I do, my photographer is partnered with a makeup artist who will like curl your hair if you want her to. And she's always like, it's only $100 more if you want Sam to do your makeup. Of course, I'm going to pay $100 to get Sam to do my makeup. I'm already paying to get my photos done. It's so easy for her to upsell me into that because if I'm going to pay the money for the photos, I'm not going to look a hot mess, right? Facebook. Use Facebook as a search engine for stuff like this. Like local photographers. They will pop right up. Local hairdressers, they will pop right up. Send them a message. Hey, this is me. I'm a makeup artist. Like, I would love to talk about like collaborating with people because then if you have like brides and stuff coming, you could be like, hey, if you don't have a photographer, I have a photographer recommendation for you. Like, it's referral based. Like, in that type of industry, in all industries, but particularly industries where you're getting in front of people's faces, like literally, and touching them, networking and referring with these people is like key because they're like, women are quick to lift up other women. Like, we naturally by default want to lift up other women. There's a lot of like internalized trauma and like mean girl and shit like that we kind of have to navigate. And like, we have our own inner mean girl that says mean shit about us, but we also probably have inner mean girls. I know I do, because I love my mom, but my mom is a mean girl. So I have a lot of mean girl to myself because of her. But I also watched her be mean girl to other people. So it took me years of like reprogramming my brain to not just like immediately be a mean girl to complete strangers for no fucking reason, because that's how my brain got wired. So all of that to say, yes, there are people that are going to be mean girls, but in general, our default is community, collaborative, supportive. She is offering lessons, which is so fun. We also, when her and I talked, I was like, go to like salons and spas and offer to do trainings on their makeup artists to like stick with what the women are doing trend wise when it comes to makeup. Like full glam, natural glam, like it's always kind of moving and shifting of what people want to look like at their weddings. Like look at 2016 where like the eyebrows were completely like painted perfectly on and we were all cut creasing. Like we're just not doing that anymore. So like keeping up on the trends for things like that. Danny says we have a girls only group on Facebook and you can post any sort of service. Finding groups like that, that's fun. So Danny is in Newfoundland, so that's probably you probably don't want to go in that group, but Tish says there's a makeup artist from New Brunswick who makes her own makeup. Yeah, her name's Alicia. She just went to some award show to showcase her product. You're probably talking about Alicia. She's usually around here. She's amazing. She makes her own makeup. She's been a makeup artist for years. Yes, darling.
When my mini master came, I had 13, but I was supposed to have 14.
No, there was 2 of all of them. I looked at it with you.
When Noah said I was supposed to have 14.
Well, we'll have to look.
Okay.
I think there was only supposed to be 12. Teresa says, I get approached by photographers, but I tell them I won't do it for $1 or $150. Yeah, maybe just let them be a referral for you. Like you don't have to work out like a price point. So for like my headshots, like I had the makeup on for like an hour. So she like, yes, she did a full face, but she did not do like wedding level makeup. Like it was very quick. I think it only took her like 20 minutes to do my makeup. Like she just like a little bit of foundation, some blush, tiny bit of contouring, like a pretty eye, and she put a fake eyelash on me and a lipstick and I was done. Like not the same as what you do for a wedding at all. I don't even think we put setting spray on because it was so fast. And there was like almost no skin prep. I think she like slapped a primer on me maybe. Whereas like a wedding, if you're offering something luxury, like obviously it's way more steps and details than that, way more products and things like that. So like even just setting up like referrals, like connecting with these people to have them refer you. But like remembering like people are searching, right? So people are going into Facebook and searching for photographers. People are going into Google. They're searching for photographers. They're going on Instagram. I'm saying photographers because it says I get approached by photographers and I keep looking at that word. I mean makeup artists. They're going into Instagram and they're looking for makeup artists. They're going on TikTok and they're looking for makeup artists. Like people are utilizing, now we can go down a whole rabbit hole about social media versus search engine, and I will touch on it quickly, but like Google, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok are search engines. They're not social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, those are social media platforms, but people still use search functions on social media platforms. So when people are searching, like we're going on our favorite platforms now, which TikTok was never supposed to be a search engine. But because people are over there teaching and showcasing and like doing tutorials and sharing so much over there, that it very quickly has risen to like one of the top 3 search engines. People are going, I was listening to someone talk about it the other day where they were like, I was with a buddy and we were like, let's go out to eat. And he was like, I was on Google. And I was like, oh, we could go here. And he's like, my buddy's like, oh, we could go here. Here's the menu. And starts like rattling it off. He's like, or we could go here. Here's the menu. And he's rattling it off. And he's like, I was like, dude, where are you getting all this information so quickly? This guy was in TikTok looking at restaurants in their like town, in the town that they were in or the city that they were in. And like was very quickly gathering all of this information. And this guy's like, I'm scrolling Google like a chump. reading through and clicking, and half the time, even when you go on Google, it's going to take you to like a Facebook page or something for like, obviously not like chains, but for like independently owned. It's going to go to like a Facebook page or an Instagram page where you're going to get more information on it. So like remembering that people are always searching for the solutions that you provide. So the more you can show up and get out there and market yourself. I'm not saying you have to be on every platform. I'm going to tell you to pick one and be really amazing at it. But the more you can be really amazing at the platform that you've chosen, and when I say be really amazing, I'm saying showing up, adding new friends, sending friend requests, talking to people in the DMs, commenting on other people's posts, engaging with people on your own posts, inviting people to work with you, going live, giving value, hosting classes, doing workshops, emailing your list. Like, that's what I mean when I say be really amazing. Like, Facebook is the place that I'm really amazing. I have almost 9,300 followers here. That's all organic. My Instagram is like 1,100 people. Like, it is not the place I'm very amazing. My TikTok has like 800. Again, not the place I'm very amazing at all. But my Facebook, that's the place I'm really amazing. Like, that's the place that I want to be. I'm showing up. I'm creating content multiple times a day. I'm going live. I'm talking to people. They're DMing me. Like, this is where I get all of my clients. This is the place I'm really amazing. So like, just pick one place and be really amazing at it so that people are finding you. They're sending you friend requests. They're following you. They're connecting with you. Like, they want to be in your world. And then the more you can do that, like, I get clients because other people referred me. I have gotten private clients because I have a girlfriend who is like, oh my God, she is huge in the network marketing world. She has written a book. She did not self-publish this book. A publishing company came to her and they were like, will you write this book? And she was like, yes. Like, she is huge. She is like a multimillionaire. She's so amazing. She's God-led. She's just one of the most amazing people. When she switched her business from like general business coaching to network marketers only, she sent most of her clients to me. I got so many clients because she was like, if you're like, I'm not working with your niche anymore, you need to go to Brittany. Like, and I had no idea that she was going to do that. She just did it. But that's the connections that you're making. That's the network that you're building. That's the community that you're building. And so, like, it does take effort. It takes effort that a lot of these gurus out here make it seem like you don't have to do. They're just like, you just show up and then people just pay you because you're awesome. Tell us the last 15 years of work that you've put in, though, because you're forgetting all of that part where you're like, I have been talking about this. I have been cultivating a community. I've been curating an audience. I have been giving value. I have been showing up. I have been building trust in these people that follow me so that when I say, hey, here's a new thing, they're like, I already love you. Whatever it is, I'll do it. I have a few people in my audience that do that. But with respect to my audience size, it's not most of them. It's a few of them. I've been here 4.5 years. I know I have a long way to go before most of my audience just drops their credit card in my DMs because I told them to, right? We can't expect that. It's showing up. It's making offers every single day. I will always make offers. I never don't make offers. I don't think there's been one day in the last 4.5 years that I've never said, here's how you can work with me. I'm doing 6 months of private coaching. Like, every other week, we're going to meet for 45 minutes. You're going to get Voxer access to me Monday to Friday. We're going to plan. We're going to implement. I'm going to get so dirty. My sleeves are, I have short sleeves on. My sleeves are rolled up. I'm elbows deep in the shit with you to make sure that your success is inevitable. I have an insane track record. I only have a few clients out of the hundreds that I have served that got like not great results. And I can tell you exactly why. Like, none of my private clients coast along, and I just don't pay attention to them. They're all getting exactly what they're coming for, or more, or something completely different, because sometimes people hire me and then they have this big plan in their mind and then life goes, you fucking thought, and it throws a wrench at them and we have to do something completely different. but we're doing all the things, right? And so I'm always like, hey, these are ways you can work with me. Right now it's private or the membership. The membership is $250 a month. That is insanely affordable. A lot of the girls who just popped on here are in the membership already. Ask about it. They're happy to tell you how much fun we have, the results that they're getting, like the support that they get, the trainings, the workbooks, all of the things, the love. They're happy to share with you. I think $250 a month is insanely cheap, but I wanted to be super affordable for people. Anyway, I'll put the links to the ways we can work together if you enjoyed this Ask B session. Next week, I'm going to be out of town, so Ask B is not going to be live. It's going to be a thread, okay? So you can ask me whatever you want in the thread, and I'll answer you. My birthday's on Saturday, and I don't want to tell you how old I am because I'm pretty sure I'm only 28. Something must be wrong with time or like my birth certificate or something. So next week we're going to be out of town celebrating my birthday, and also it's my anniversary. Johnny and I have been married for 12 years coming up. And like once a summer, we always try to take a week off and go out of town and go to the beach and do all kinds of fun stuff like that. So the Ask B will not be alive. It will be a thread, and I'll just answer you all day, all week as I get to my phone. That's it. That's it. And then after that, they'll go back to being Wednesday mornings at this time. We went a little long today. That's okay. I don't mind. I never mind because I love you and I want you to get the support that you need and the answers that you need. And if you have any other questions, yeah, Teresa, I'm turning 38, but I'm only 28, so I don't know how that's possible. If you have more questions, ask them in the comments and I'll answer them later, like when I get back to my phone. You'll never be out hanging in the lurch. I don't like that. So it'll be a thread on Facebook next week. Yes. But if you have more questions, we can definitely continue a thread here and I'll keep supporting you. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week and an amazing day. And like I said, if you are looking for support, you want to scale your business to 10K months, join us in the 10K formula. I have helped many people hit 10K months and beyond scaling their businesses. The foundation is simple.
Can me, Lizzie, and Luke, no, not Luke. Can me, Lizzie, and Mitchell have a Freezy?
Sure.
A Skittle Freezy?
Go to town.
Look.
Oh, they look amazing. I love it.
Bye.
Bye. Freezies. They all want freezies. The foundation to growing your business to 10K is simple. Like it's picking a platform. It's monetizing the platform. It's showing up. It's giving value. It's figuring out your offer. It's perfect pricing. It's having sales conversations and not feeling weird about it. It's having building the habits and CEO mindset. That is everything that we talk about in the 10K formula. $2,500 for the whole year. We meet every single week for an hour and a half for coaching. There are very short modules that you can work your way through on all of the things that I just mentioned and more, like 20 minutes or less. There are amazing workbooks and resources. Everyone in that community is very collaborative, very supportive, very loving and uplifting. So for a whole year of that type of support and guidance, $2,500 for the whole year or $250 a month. Scrounge together $250 and then let's make $250 more, right? If you want to work together privately, I do have more spots. I have one more scholarship. The other two have been taken. I have one more 50% scholarship. So instead of the $12,000, we can do 6 months for $6,000 or $1,000 a month. So if you are in need and you would like that level of support, let's have a conversation about you taking the scholarship. If you're like, no, I don't need the scholarship, I've got this, but I do want the support. We meet every other week for an hour in Zoom for 6 months, and then you get private Voxer access to me. You also get gifted access to the membership for the 6 months, and you get access to any other programs, challenges, workshops, whatever I'm doing. If it's free, obviously you get access. If it costs, you also get access. And this is like, we're going to spend some time on our first call auditing your business. So that means we're looking at what your offers are, your marketing efforts, the strategies that you are utilizing, your pricing, everything that's going on in your business. And we're going, okay, what's working? What do we like? What's not working? What do we hate? And we put in a plan of action to help scale your business to, usually people tend to fall in where they want to fall into, but if you're making less than 10K, you probably want to be in the 10K formula. If you're making more than 10K, or you've made 10K in the past and now things are kind of fucky and you're like, help, you decide. I'm not putting my hand in your pocket. But if you want that higher level of support, like, let's have a conversation about what it would look like to do that together. You can come into my DMs or you can book a call with me. No obligation. I never pressure anybody. I want you to be happy with the decision that you make. And I have many times coached people not to hire me because they came to me white knuckling and in stress. And if you're coming into a situation where you're like, okay, I'm going to make the first payment and then I'm stressed to the max and I don't know how I'm going to make the second payment, that's not a good place to be in. I don't want you to be there. Of course, I'm going to help you make money. I'm going to help you streamline your business, your marketing efforts. Of course, you're going to make more money as a byproduct. Of course, you're going to feel in control, happier, confident, like you actually are driving the bus again. But if you are in a stress state, like a freeze state, that's not a good place to be in. And so, like, I want you to make the best decisions for you. And if you want to have a conversation about it, like, let's do it. No pressure. I'm happy to talk to you about a scholarship, about working together, whatever you need. But I'm inviting you to have that conversation with me if you feel like you're ready for it, because I do have availability for one-on-ones starting in August. I would say this month, but if I'm off next week, then the last week of July is already here. So we'll just say August. But we can start working together now if you're ready. So my friends, I love you all. I hope you have an amazing day. Some people are saying, oh my God, I want to get in so bad. Join. If you can get $250 and it's not going to stress you, break the bank, make you want to die, and you feel confident that you can make another $250 next month, then like just go in on the payment plan. Easy. Tish says, when the time is right, it's going to happen. Exactly. I have a few programs I want to sign up for, and this is one of them. Tish, I would love to have you. But until then, please keep coming to Ask Bees and getting the support that you need. Lots of people came to me when I first started. I used to do free coaching Friday in my Facebook group. Every Friday for a year, I would go live. Lots of people came to those and got coaching and got support and got their questions answered when they weren't making any money or weren't making enough money. And what they got on those free calls got them clients so that they could hire me. Like, I want you to get something out of these sessions. So please come, get what you need. Take it, go implement, and then come back next week and be like, I implemented and here's where I am. What's next for me? And like, let me help you. This is exactly what I want to do on these calls. Let me help you. Let me help you get clients. Let me help you feel good. Let me help you feel confident. Let me carry some of the weight for you. And yes, come to all the free things. All the free things. Never be afraid of me. I'll always answer your questions. Like, even if I post something and you have a question that has nothing to do with my post, ask it in the comments or send me a DM or whatever. I will answer you. I will always answer you because I want people to win. I love you. All right, my beauties, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, an amazing week. Please keep me posted because I am cheering for you. So like when I say keep me posted, I really mean it. Like, I love when people come into my DMs and they're like, I did this and this happened. Like, yes, I love it. I will see you all. Well, next week, like I said, it'll be a thread. It'll be a thread because I'm going to be out of town. But the week after, we'll go back to doing lives. I love you. I hope you have an amazing day, my lovies. I'll see you all later. Mwah, mwah, mwah.